Getting beat up by 9 guys at Syracuse, to me, there's not a whole lot of shame.
Welcome to the Heel to the Face podcast.
And this right here,
with your hosts, Jarod Wicks, Brandon Icebreaker Clements, and Paul Boy Green Esden.
It doesn't matter what your name is. And that's the bottom line. You're Stone Cold
I have received an email.
Don't forget to email the show at heeltotheface@hotmail.com.
Best there is, the best there was, or the best there ever will be.
Brett screwed Brett because it's what's best for business.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man. The champ is here. Oh yeah, new day rock. And if you're not down with that, we got you. Oh yeah.
Tweet us using the handle @HeelToTheFace.
Woo! Let's get ready to suck it!
The bell is rung, so let's step in the ring with your hosts, Paul, Brandon, and Jarod.
I might as well tag me up with my buddies from Syracuse.
It's the first week of August 2017, live from Syracuse, New York. This is the Heel to the Face podcast, as we are joined this week with our crew, as always, Paul Boy Green Esden. You can find him on Twitter at BoyGreen25. Brandon the Icebreaker Clements, you can find him on Twitter at Icebreaker21, and myself, Jarod. Just Jarod Wicks this week. We got a lot to talk about as the summer is heating up, and so is the road to SummerSlam. We got UFC stars wanting to leave the Octagon for the WWE, and WWE stars wanting to leave the ring for the Octagon, and so much more. We start Raw and SmackDown this week. A Raw that could easily be forgotten, a SmackDown that was pay-per-view-like quality. Brandon, let's start with you. Actually, no, I'm going to start with Paul because I think he's the only one that predicted this. Shinsuke Nakamura is your number one contender, Paul. You had it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please, don't break your wrist with the applause. I thought that it's interesting because when we're doing the lead-up to this fight, I thought there was some intrigue between, foreign superstar versus foreign superstar, having the Jinder Mahal versus the Shinsuke Nakamura. And yes, Jarod, you did warn us that potentially the bark was not as good as the bite in terms of this looked like pay-per-view quality, and I think it lived up to the hype of pay-per-view quality for this past SmackDown Live, and it was fantastic. It was a great match. There's that scary moment with that certain suplex and John Cena landing on the head and neck area, which kind of gave you a quick scare, but at the end of the match, it seemed like everything was cool, and Shinsuke Nakamura was your victor, and I thought it was awesome, and maybe not planned from or expected, but I thought it was great that they went with this route.
So, now at SummerSlam, kind of an early look at SummerSlam, do you think they could really give the ball to Shinsuke, or do you think that this is just the start of something? Oh, Brandon, what do you...
All right, I love Shinsuke. I was on the fence. I mean, I love Shinsuke. That's my guy. I've been a fan, back in his Japan days, and obviously in NXT.
Right, Brandon, we already know about the Indian tour. We already know about the tour of India. And Jinder Mahal has to go
right now, Brandon.
No,
please.
it's happening. Shinsuke is not winning the title. He's going to get his first defeat against Jinder Mahal. You heard it first. Jinder Mahal is keeping the title at least through September. I'm telling you right now. I've read enough about it online. I'm telling you right now. You can't lose. And if you look at the numbers, and they showed a graphic about the how well the India channel has done for WWE, the WWE and India channel.
Oh, here we go.
I'm telling you right now, WWE is a business. Guess what happens when they're a business? If you're making money, you keep the money going. You keep them as champion. I think at least through September, and it is not that's not knocking Shinsuke Nakamura because that's my guy, but Jinder Mahal he's going to give Shinsuke a nice defeat. And Jinder Mahal is going to be champion at least through September. I'm book it. I'm telling you.
You just said a nice defeat. What do you mean? A clean win? A dirty win? What are you talking about?
I'm saying it's going to be a nice match. I think it's going to be a solid match. Shinsuke is going to look at points where he's going to win. And the beat-up Singh brothers, they got neck braces, shoulder braces. They got everything going on right now, the slings and everything. They are still going to be involved. I think it's going to be a good match. I think it's going to be one of the better matches. I think Shin is going to put on quite a show like he always does, but I don't see it as a clean match, no. But it's going to be a nice match. I think it's going to be solid, but I do see Shinsuke Nakamura losing. Like I said, Shinsuke's losing. Jinder
Couldn't
Mahal.
disagree more. All right, next, Jarod.
So, Paul, you're taking Shinsuke? You
100%.
You think they're going to give him the championship?
100%. It's Shinsuke Nakamura time. If you check what time it is, it's Nakamura time. And that's exactly... Jinder Mahal, Indian trip, business. It's just business, Paul. Brandon, shove it, man. Shinsuke Nakamura is going to be our next WWE Welterweight champion.
I am the biggest Shinsuke Nakamura
Second
fan.
biggest now.
No, I am the biggest. I'm looking at it from a booking standpoint. I'm looking at it at a financial point. If I was going Jinder Mahal, Shinsuke, without, take the Indian tour, all that junk out, Shinsuke all day long. Shinsuke, I rock the Shinsuke gear. I got the swag at home. AJ Styles and Shinsuke are my two favorite guys. And I will say this right now. Out of the three of you guys, I am the biggest Shinsuke Nakamura fan. That is no doubt about that. But on a business side of it, you have to look at it on the business side, not what your heart's telling you, but what your head's telling you. My head's telling me there's more money to be made right now in the whole Indian thing. Why would they show a graphic of India? We're making all this kind of money. The viewers, they're telling you, oh, India, because of Jinder Mahal, without even saying it. The India thing, they're making money off it. Why the hell would they do it before the Indian tour is done? I'm telling you right now, Shinsuke will be a champion. I would say later on in the year, maybe he gets a rematch because it's a dirty finish. I have no doubt he's a champion. That's going to happen, but it's not going to happen until after the India tour is over. After September.
Wait, what about the Japanese tour? Let's get started on that with Shinsuke Nakamura.
India is a bigger market than Japan.
Whoa!
There's more fans. There's more fans to be.
Japan is like soccer and pro wrestling go hand. Wrestling. If we were Japan, WrestleMania would be like
money.
Going up against the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
There's more money to be made in India. There's more potential. Yes, because India. How many people are in India that are potential fans? Billions.
Yeah, but they're all poor.
It does not matter if they're poor. If there's money to be made,
there's
no
more money to be made.
Yes,
they
is.
Don't make enough money.
Yes,
I'm not saying
do.
there's not money to be made in India. There's definitely money to be made anywhere in this world.
It's more populous. It's more
very,
populous.
You're just towing a very, what I believe, controversial line
very
when you're talking about. This is the equivalent of let's say, American-style football, and we're talking about it in Europe right now, and we're saying that there could be more money to be made from American football in Japan than in America, and that would be that because Japan pro wrestling is one of the four major sports in Japan.
Look up the population. I will tell you right now, there's over 1.3 billion people in India. I don't have the numbers.
I understand. I mean,
there's more money to be made. There's more. I'm not saying there's bigger. I'm saying Japan has a great
there's more
wrestling
people
base.
in New York City than there's in Sydney, Australia. But if you were to tell me where I'm going to take the handball championship to and where there might be more money to be made in rugby, I'm taking it to Sydney, Australia.
India's got more. Has got plenty of fans. I am telling you right now. There's millions of fans in India. I'm not saying that nothing against the Japanese side of it, but I'm telling you right now from a perspective, there's a more populace in India than there is in Japan. There's more money to be made. I'm just saying, you're not. Why would you show a graphic of India? They're showing it was 300 million viewers have seen the WWE on this channel or something. India, it was some graphic like that. Why the hell would you show that if you're not trying to tie things like, oh, hey, we're really growing in India? Why not grow in one? And I think it's the most. I think besides China, I think it's the next most populous land in the world. If I'm not mistaken.
I might say there might be more money to be made in India in the sense of more new money to be made, and where people might come out to professional wrestling because they have representation, where in Japan, they're already going to come. So when you go to India, it might boost up the attendance versus Japan. It's already going to be a sellout. So
that's why I mean, if you're already, and that's a good point that you just made, because if they're already going to come out in droves, so to speak, in Japan, then why do you need to have Shinsuke as champion if they're already going to come out in India when you have a guy that's, he's a Punjabi, he's an Indian guy. If you have him as champ, you're going to bring in more dollars in Indian populace than you are if he's not a champion. In Japan, you made my point for me. If they're already going to come in droves anyways, you don't need Shinsuke as champion necessarily in a financial point. I would love to have Shinsuke as champion. I think he's a better in-ring performer. But WWE is a business, and they're going to look at this as I'm going after those billions of people in India. The 1.3 billion people in India, whatever it might be. I might be 1.6. I don't know. But there's a lot of people in India, so there's more money to be made there. That's not a slap on Japan. I think the New Japan Wrestling is fantastic. But I'm telling you right now, WWE's a business. They got to make money, and guess what? India is where you're going to make more money.
Now, the one thing is, I don't know exactly if this matters, and this is what I feel, that him coming in as champion, or anybody in any country representing as champion versus just being there, let's say, in the main event. Let's say Shinsuke's the champion and Jinder Mahal's the challenger, and they go on India and they have one-on-one matches throughout this India tour. I don't exactly know how much the championship effect really holds on to that aspect that you're talking about of bringing money. Because I think that they need representation in Jinder Mahal, but I don't exactly believe all the time that he indeed needs to be
just
the
to
champion.
throw this at you. And I was right the first time I said that. I just Googled population of India, 1.324 billion. So I was right the first time. China is slightly ahead at 1.379 billion.
Now,
Thank you for that update.
I thought it was 1.3, but I'm just saying there's more populace, there's more money to be made. And here's the thing: if you don't have Jinder Mahal as champion, I don't think you make as much money in India. If you go to if you bring Shinsuke as champion to Japan, where that's where he's from, he's the native guy over there. You're gonna make probably a little bit more money. But here's the thing: if you bring him in as one of the top contenders, even not a champion, you're still going to make a ton of money. I don't think the gap is going to be there as much as if Jinder was not the champion in India. I'm looking at it from a business perspective.
Well, kind of turning things to somebody who doesn't need to be champion in order to bring in the company lots and lots of money. After SmackDown went off the air this week, John Cena helped out Shinsuke Nakamura, who was attacked by Baron Corbin. And obviously, if Shinsuke Nakamura is going on to SummerSlam, it all but assumes that maybe Baron Corbin and John Cena are setting up for a match at SummerSlam as well. My thing that happened, that I didn't even know that this was true until I found out later on, but the attack was actually on television. I don't know why, or I didn't catch the end of SmackDown in the sense of where Tom Phillips advertised anything, but it was a WWE Network kind of like a post-SmackDown show where they just wanted to show us Shinsuke Nakamura celebrating, and then they aired all this on the WWE Network. So I found that kind of to be cheap. I found that kind of be cheesy. Hey, tune into the WWE Network we're just going to show you nothing. We don't normally do this, but hey, tune in. We're just going to show you a guy walking around the ring. Nothing extra is going to happen. Just tune in. Like, obviously, this isn't the NFL. This isn't ESPN. Like, tune in here so you can watch a trophy presentation or something like that. This is something where if they tell us to tune in, I'm assuming then that means something's going to happen. I don't know why they would tell us to tune in. Shinsuke Nakamura was doing absolutely nothing. There was no confetti coming down. There was no family rushing over the barricade or any of that nonsense. He was just standing in the ring while his music was playing. So had to be, if I tuned into the WWE Network after SmackDown was over, had to have something happen, and that's indeed what did happen. Now, so John Cena, Baron Corbin, are you cool with that happening at SummerSlam? Are you cool with that being a new rivalry? Do you think that maybe Shinsuke Nakamura and Baron Corbin should have something going on? Do you think Baron Corbin should be more into the SummerSlam, maybe a triple threat match for the championship?
I don't mind either way. I think the stock on Baron Corbin it's just keep you might as well buy it now because you're still going to make some money off of it right now. Seriously, I mean that Baron Corbin is on the rise. I mean he's a top notch guy, but his stock is still going up. He's not even the champion yet. He has a future championship in that briefcase, so he's going to make lots of money. Now here's the thing: you put him with Shinsuke, you put him with John Cena. I think it's going to be a great match. Baron Corbin right now to me is you want to put some money if you're going to put any money in some stock right now, that is one of the guys you want to put money in.
Also on SmackDown this past week, we saw Chad Gable keep being nothing really.
Whoa!
I mean, Rusev.
Whoa! Hey, come on! I'm glad we got to that point. I want to make a note on this. Chad Gable put on one hell of a show. In defeat, yes, against Rusev. I thought that match was absolutely fantastic, to be absolutely honest with you. I think Chad Gable, watching him as a singles competitor, I'm loving where things are at. I mean, it's only just begun. I thought that was a hell of a match. Rusev, I mean, honestly, maybe I'm looking at this completely wrong. I'll let you guys, speak about it. But I think Chad Gable in a defeat looked better than Rusev in a win. That's just me.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it to you there. I guess it's a progression of his character. I'm just kind of trying to figure out where this is all going to be going.
He looks better. He looked better than Jason Jordan this past week. I mean, Jason Jordan did okay on the Miz TV thing, but the stock for me right now is in Gable. I mean, yes, you have the whole Kurt Angle thing. I don't know. I mean, to me, I'm Chad Gable over Jason Jordan right now. That's just me.
So are you digging a